In about an hour's time at Wits University in Johannesburg, our reporter Chriselda Lewis is there. Good afternoon to you, Chriselda. And apparently this is a wide-ranging discussion, including health issues, things like that.
Well, that's right, Francis, as we commemorate the 40th anniversary since the passing of the struggle activist Steve Biko here at Wits University in Johannesburg. This is where the Steve Biko Bioethics Seminar will be held. A lecture will be delivered by the Gauteng Health MEC Gwen Ramogopa under the theme A Just Healthcare System, One Common Vision. You recall, of course, that one of the greatest tragedies that have taken place in South Africa after democracy is the Esidimeni tragedy, in which more than 100 psychiatric patients who were transported from Life Esidimeni to other facilities had died, and at a much later stage it was described as an unjust move. It was quite done in a way that was not by the standards that were required by the Gauteng Health Department. We're also hearing now, Francis, in that breaking news just a couple of moments ago, that the retired Deputy Chief Justice Dikgang Moseneke is saying there that public hearings will now be held into the Life Esidimeni tragedy. So some of the families of those who perished in that tragedy will be here as well to give some of their concerns about what has since happened after all of this had uncovered. And I think it's quite pertinent to point out why this is so important. You know that the ideals of Steve Biko, Francis, were that every human being had the power within them to change, the circumstances of their fellow human beings. So it begs to ask the question, 40 years ago, 40 years later, what would Steve Biko say about the unnecessary and callous death of some of the most vulnerable in society? And of course, what's expected to take place here today is that we'll have quite a number of these speakers, as well as the Gauteng Health MEC, to talk about and perhaps give an update of what has since taken place, because some of these families who are here, Francis, will also have their say. You'd recall that while there have been quite a number of disciplinary actions that we were told would get underway into those who they believed were supposed to take responsibility for the transfer of those psychiatric patients, some of those disciplinary actions have gotten underway, but no arrests have been made following the Esidimeni tragedy. So we'll certainly probe the Gauteng Health MEC about that as this breaking news does come in. And if you look at it in the context of Steve Biko as well, why is it so relevant to the healthcare sector? You would know that when Steve Biko himself was detained, that there were district surgeons at the time who were looking after him, and they worked together with the apartheid government at the time to try and hide some of the misdemeanors that were being perpetrated against Steve Biko. So it remains very relevant within this sector as well.
All right, thank you very much, Chriselda Lewis, and that will get underway in about an hour's time. It's called the Steve Biko Bioethics Seminar. All right, we take a look at global news.